welcome to another Papa Paints video. I want to do something different today. I'm going to paint on a digital platform called Procreate on my iPad. And then I want to take the painting and drag it over to Procreate Dreams, which is a new animation software that is made by the same people who make Procreate. And I want to show you how I would do a simple Christmas card or a winter scene, I guess you might say. A Christmas tree, something like that. We'll figure it out as we go. We're going to play it by ear today. But I think what I want to do is like a Christmas tree with enough room left in the composition to write a message like Merry Christmas or something of that sort. And so let's just kind of do this and see where we go, because I don't have it done yet. And we're gonna find out together. I'm still new to Procreate Dreams. I'm not new to Procreate. I've been using Procreate for several years, but Procreate Dreams is very new for me. I only got it on the 22nd of November, which is the day it was released, and today is the 27th, so only 5 days ago. And I'm still a student with that, but still I figured out how to. I guess it's a testament to how easy it is for you to learn. And I know probably some of you out there have learned it like really, really well already. I know, in fact, you have, because I've seen some videos. But anyway, I'll show you a simple way to make an animated Christmas card using a digital platform, in this case, Procreate. Okay, here we go. All right, let's get started. Here's my iPad, and I have my Apple Pencil, and we'll turn it on, open it up. It's got to look at my face to know who I am. And then we're going to go to Procreate first. And we don't have to have a big file, because this is going to be a digital picture. Well, they're all digital, but I mean, I don't intend to print it anywhere. So there's our canvas. And we're going to turn the background into like a blue-gray. So we go over here, just like that. I don't know, I just think it'll help with the whole idea, the whole process. I don't know if you can tell it on my monitor here. It looks white, but it's blue-gray. And what I want to use, and you could do anything really. You know what? I was going to use dry brush, but I think I'm going to use the gouache setting. So here's paint, and go to gouache. And now let's make a little easy to do scene, like a winter scene. So I'll do like a dark blue sky. I just kind of scrub it in there. Yeah, just paint a little bit of a sky. And we'll work it as we get deeper into it. Is there a way to? Somebody can tell me this. How do I keep it focused on the screen here? Because it seems to be focusing on my hand. Whoops, I just put a fingerprint there. Okay. It's focusing on my hand. I don't know how to keep it focused on the screen. Well, I'll just keep moving my hand away so that it refocuses. All right, so let's just sketch it in there. And put a little bit of light down here toward the bottom, a little bit of blue. Maybe a little bit more white down there. Just kind of blend it the way you might do. It's almost like a watercolor effect. Yeah. A little bit more dark, I think. So just painting digitally is obviously a different kind of a thing than painting traditionally. And I like both. I like doing, I don't have a preference. So in case you were wondering, I don't really. I mean, there's a lot of satisfaction, obviously, in doing both. All right, now let's create something a little bit slightly darker and a little bit more defined. And I'll create some kind of a background mountain or some kind of a hilly area back there. Here we go. So kind of a distant hill, someplace in the back there. And I'm purposely using the colors in the blue spectrum because I want this to be a cold feeling picture with some bright warm spots, as opposed to warm with some cool spots. Warm and cool together always work nice. All right, now let's go back to the very light blues. Let's kind of fill in this area down here. This is going to be where the foreground snow is. Just keep working it until it has the look that we want. And here we go. Just kind of blend it down the colors. It's a very limited palette, obviously, because it's just the sky and the snow. And then we'll have more colors when we get to the tree. One of the things that I have to do is I have to use layers. And the reason for that is because, well, I use layers anyway, but you specifically need to think layers when you're doing a picture that is going to be used as an animation, because the layers can be manipulated individually, which is really cool. Okay. So I don't really have a whole lot of really advanced ideas for my animation idea. I just want a tree that blinks and maybe a star that glows. A tree that blinks and a star that glows. And then this could be, see, the whole idea here is to make a Christmas card similar to the Christmas card I painted the other day with gouache. This one you might remember if you saw the other video. This is hand painted with actual gouache, and now we're doing digital gouache. It's kind of the same thing. So let's get some little darker areas here, and some divots in the snow. It's not completely untouched. I try to imagine what it might look like. I don't have a reference photo in today's demonstration, but just a few areas that are kind of sketching it in, kind of winging it, playing it by ear, however you want to say it. And I think when you do it this way, your mind sort of kind of just goes away for a little bit, and then it comes back and kind of looks at it, and then all of a sudden says, oh, it's kind of like looking at clouds. You say, oh, I see something there. And then you take whatever your brain tells you and says, oh, let's make that a little ridge. Let's make that a little hole. Let's make that, like if you're painting waves, sometimes I'll do the same thing. I'll just, a wave in the ocean will have a little curl to the top of it, and you didn't see that earlier, but all of a sudden you see it and you say, oh, that looks good. That looks good. And then you just keep working it until it looks the way you want it to look. Now, I used gouache because I'm familiar with gouache in traditional painting. I just showed you that card. So I'm familiar with gouache, and I'm familiar with oils. So I tend, because I'm old, I guess, I tend to use the paints in the digital world that are similar to the ones I use in the real world. And I know there are plenty of people who create certain brushes that make some jobs easier to do. And yes, you know what, I'm always impressed by the way young people innovate things. In fact, I've have this theory that the reason we die, it's a silly thing to say, but the reason we die is so that young people can continue what we started, because we kind of get stagnant and we stay stuck. So maybe in the grand scheme of things, God said, you know what, let's make people die because they get stuck. And let's make young people innovate whatever it is that they create. So you create the wheel, let a young person say, oh, we can make a car. Or you create a telephone, a young person says, let's make a television or a radio or something. And I don't know. I tried to, as an older person, I tried to not be stuck in ruts, but you know what? It still happens. You still find yourself using the same tools or thinking the same way, I guess is a good way to say that. So right now, I'm just going to add a little bit more light colors, I think, because this is snow. Do you hear a crow? Is the crow making it to the microphone? I don't know. But there's a crow outside. I used to feed the crows. I used to feed all the birds. The problem with feeding the birds is not the birds. The problem with feeding the birds is the squirrels. Now, I love the squirrels. I used to sit outside on the porch after feeding the birds, and the squirrels would come, and they would eat the food, and the birds would too. And I didn't mind. I kind of thought they were super cute. I really loved watching them. But then we got some squirrels up in the attic. They must have thought, wow, this is a good place to live, and they went up in the attic, and that wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Robin was upset with the with the critters upstairs, and so I had to go up there. I tried everything. I tried mothballs, and I tried this other like herbs or some kind of a scent I got from Ace Hardware, but they wouldn't go away. So I regret to say I had to use a trap, and we got rid of them that way. But yeah, I didn't really like doing that. But then I stopped feeding the birds because I didn't want the squirrels to keep coming back. So then what I switched over to was hummingbirds, because the squirrels don't mess with the hummingbird food. It's liquid. It's like nectar or something. It's sugar water. And so I got rid of that. Okay, I think we're done with this background. I'm kind of messing with it a little bit too much. It really doesn't need to be that detailed. We just need to have it in here. Okay, that looks good, I guess. I guess that looks good. Let me put a few kind of highlights. Whoops. Oh, that's okay, I guess. Just a few areas that are... Let me make the brush tip smaller. If you've never used Procreate and you're watching this right now and you're a little bit confused, I apologize for not giving a really detailed tutorial right now. I'm mostly doing this to show if you've used it before, so you don't have to follow my lead on this at all. You never have to, actually. But anyway, just I do have a few videos under my own name, not under the Pop-Up Paints name, but my name, Larry Whitler. I have some art under my name. I should share with you guys my art site. I'll share it with you right now. I'll tell it to you. It's Larry Whitler. Let's see. It's Larry-Whitler, I think, .pixels.com, Pixels. My last name is spelled Whitler. Whitler. All right, well, there we go. That's, I think, going to be the groundwork for the ground. Now what I want to do is go to the layers, and I'm going to duplicate it, only because it makes it richer and stronger. Not always, but this time it did, and I'm going to keep it like that. Okay. Now I want to make a new layer, and this layer is going to be the tree. So I don't want it to be super green, just going to make it a tiny bit greener than the blue-green, but I kind of want to keep it in the blue family. And I'm going to put it off to the left center. So let's start with a trunk. Oh, see, that's too green already. Make it more blue. Yeah, just go down to there. So that's going to be our tree, the beginnings of our tree. Let me make it less blue, kind of almost like a black or a Payne's gray. There we go. All right, now let's go ahead and do the thing you did when you were in kindergarten. You know how to make a Christmas tree, right? You spread it out. And we're going to take this. It's a pretty easy way to do a tree, right? Don't worry, we're going to make it a little bit more better than that. A little bit more better. Just trying to lay some groundwork in here. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to switch to the dry brush, because the dry brush will have more of that look that I want for this. So let me go to the dry brush. There it is. Is it working? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's got a little bit more of that raggedy look to it. Can you see it? And then we'll put some snow on the branches so that it pops out a little bit more. So now the tree is a separate layer. It doesn't really need to be for the animation because the tree itself is not going to be moving. I only thought I would do it this way in case I changed my mind about the size of the tree or the placement of the tree. But in preparing to do something on Procreate that's going to be used as animation in Procreate Dreams, I kind of wanted to just show you, if you've not done it before, how to prepare something like this for animation. So, yeah. I'm scrubbing it in. See, the dry brush has more of a raggedy look, which is kind of how pine trees look. They look raggedy. I'm trying to get it all over here. I don't want that rounded look that the digital gouache does. Real gouache doesn't do that, unless you have a round brush, I guess. All right, now there's our tree, and I don't know which way the light's coming from, but I'm not gonna worry about it. Now, what I want to do is, because the snow and everything is behind it, so in front of it, I want to add some more snow here. So it's like piled up against the tree. You see, like that. So this is actually in front of the tree and in front of the other snow. Yeah, you get the idea, right? All right, now let's add some snow to the tree, to the branches. I'm going to continue using that the dry brush. And remember, there's branches that come to the front as well as to the left and the right. So we're just going to load up some of those branches with snow. You know how snow looks when it falls onto a tree. When it starts piling up on the branches. I love doing winter scenes. They are so nice. I have a tendency to be very traditional when it comes to doing winter scenes. I just want to paint what I've seen probably all my life by other people, and then once in a while in real life, I have been out in the snow in real life. I grew up in New York, on Long Island, but my dad used to take us to like the Catskills and upstate New York and places like that. So we used to take our sleds. I remember I went on an outing with the church one time, and they had skis. So I got to experience my first skiing moment upstate New York somewhere with the church. That was fun. Young days. People are always talking about their young days, and that's because we do so much fun stuff in our young days. or memorable stuff, you know. Just so many things happen when we're younger, and we talk about them the rest of our lives. It's amazing. I worked in a assisted living facility for 3 years, like in 2001, 2002, early 2000s. It was between radio gigs. I did radio most of my life, but I did do that. It was a great experience. I learned so much from those people, and just became friends with so many of those people. And now I'm not that far from the age they were then, but back then I was like, you know, in my 40s, and the people at the assisted living were in their 80s and more. So, but I learned so much. And the one thing I guess I wanted to say is that I would hear them talk about their youth. I would hear them talk about when they were a teenager, when they were 20, in their 20s, when they went into the army, or when they were first engaged or first started dating. And it's just a magical time that we don't realize when it's happening. We don't realize how magical it is. I do the same thing myself. I will bring up stories. Robin has to hear my stories over and over again. I know I tell the same stories over and over again. All right, how do you think that looks? Does it look nice? Does that look like a snowy Christmas tree? Okay, so there's our snowy Christmas tree. Now here comes some of the fun part. Now we're going to do another layer. Now I am going to go back to the gouache, I think. Yeah, let me go back to the gouache. Okay. What I want to do is I want to take on this layer. Now, do you think, I'm going to ask you this, I know you can't answer me, but do you think I should I want to put lights on the tree. Should I make them all one color, like all white or all blue? Let's try all blue, because the theme of this picture is blue. So let's take that layer right there and make this blue, that really rich blue, okay? Now, it's on another layer. What I want to do is just, whoa, that's big. Let me make it a little bit smaller. All right, so there's a blue dot. That's going to be a light. That's going to be a light. That's going to be a light. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'll do 8 lights, okay? And then I'm going to do another layer, and I'm going to do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, I'm spreading them around. 5, 6, 7, 8. Now let's do another layer. Let's make it a little slightly different blue. And we'll make a new layer. So this is going to be the third layer of lights. And there's a darker blue. 1, 2. It doesn't have to be 8. It doesn't even have to be the same amount. I'm just trying to spread them out. Hold on, my computer went off. There it goes. So let me put some white on there too. I feel like it needs some lighter colors. Oops, I put that on the wrong layer. Let me make a new layer here. That's okay, that one will not be a problem. 1, 2, wait a minute. Make it really white. There, bright. Now you'll see why I'm doing it on separate layers once I move over to the Procreate Dreams part of this. Let's make another layer. See all these layers here? Now, make a different blue. A couple of different blues here. 4. And a few more whites. Whoops. Let's make one more layer. There we go. One. Whoops. Okay. So now those are the different layers. All of these are the different layers of white. I'm sorry, of lights. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 layers of light, 1 layer of tree, and 1 layer of background. Okay? Now, that's all we need to do. Let me label it so I know what it's called. Okay. Christmas card 2, because I did one yesterday also. Okay, so here we go. Now what I want to do, that's Procreate. Now what we want to do is close that and get Procreate Dreams open. So here's Procreate Dreams, and we're going to start with a widescreen. So there it is. And now what we want to do is we want to bring in, I got to remember how to do this now. Bring in, oh wait a minute, I know how to do it. You got to pull this up. There you go. And then you push this over here. Now Procreate, the picture I just did, is available to pull over. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Whoops, how do you do it again? Wait a minute, I can't remember how to do it. Okay, I'm still learning this, you see. Slide over, or close it. Let me try it again. All right, open it up. Oops. All right, we'll do it again. We're learning together here. Nope, that didn't work. Ah, there it is. So now we want to take this picture, and bring it down here. Now it's importing it. Okay, now we're going to close this because we don't need this anymore. Okay, now we're back to just Procreate Dreams. Now you see down here, we have 30 seconds worth of a movie right there. And what we want to do is we want to make this fill the whole screen. I might have made it too big. That's okay, that'll work. You know what? Just for demonstration, I'm going to keep it just like that. That's okay, I guess. I hope. Okay. Now what I want to do is see if I'm still learning this. Now I want to take this, convert layers to tracks. And that should have happened. Let's see. Did it happen? Let's see if I did it right. Oh, ungroup. There we go. We ungrouped it. All right, now I guess it shrinks automatically. So let's go to this one and bring. Oh. Well, that's nice. That's right. The tree is a separate layer. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So now I can move the tree around. Oh, but see the lights? They're separate. See how the lights are staying there? So just keep that right there. That's fine. That looks nice. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to take each one of these layers here and break them up a little bit. So let's take this layer and bring it down to here, to the 2-second mark. See, it says 2 seconds up there. Now what I want to do is this, and I want to duplicate it and then move this one over. Whoops. How do I move it over? There, move it over to the 4-second mark. Okay, and now I want to take, watch this trick. I think I can do it. Oops, gotta hit this. I'm still learning. So you gotta take this and group them together. And now group it. So now you have these two together. Now, you see how the lights are blinking? Because it goes off and on, off and on. Now what I want to do is I want to take this. Let's see if I can do it. Maybe I got to turn this off. This is a little bit confusing to me. Let's do this. There we go. Now we want to duplicate that. And then what we want to do is spread it over, move it over. Hold on. I'm learning. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's see, what do I want to do? Okay, move that over 2 seconds. And now, let's group those two together. And group them. There, now we have that as a group. Now let's take those and duplicate it and group them together. I guess that's how you do it. And then we're going to duplicate that one time. Okay, so now we have it all the way for the whole 30 seconds. And I'm going to grab those two, and I'm going to group them. So now, let's watch what happens when we play it. Watch what happens. See the lights? They're going on and off. See them? There's like every 2 seconds, the lights on that frame are going on and off. Okay, so we want to do the same thing with this layer. So let's go to this layer, and we'll bring this one down to 2 seconds. But for this one, we're going to start it at the 2 second mark. And then, I always forget how to do this, but then we're going to duplicate that, and we're going to move that over to the 8 second mark, I guess. Something around there. Now let's group those two together. Whoops. How do I do it? We're going to group. Okay. And then we want to take that and duplicate that and move it over. Whoops. Boy, it gets confusing. I guess because it's still new, right? Once I've used it a lot, then it'll be like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. And I know this is super simple animation, but it's a cool way to make a little animated card. And I'm going to use this on social media. All right, so I want to group those two together, and then one more time, let's duplicate this. And I don't think we really need to, but I'm going to move it over, and then I'm going to group those two together. There. Now let's watch the movie, the animation. Now watch the tree. I'm going to play it. So I should have some going on and off of this at different times. See, it's kind of like twinkling a little bit. It's working. It's kind of like a slow twinkle. See it? It's kind of cool. Kind of working. All right, now let's go to the next layer. And we'll pick this one, and we'll do the same thing. We'll shrink it down. We'll go to the 2 second mark. We'll move over maybe to the 1 second mark, just so it's a little bit off center. And let's duplicate that. I'm not sure if you use your pen or your finger? I'm never sure what to do here. Okay, I'm trying. Come on. Come on, give me that little menu. Well, what's it doing? There it goes. So maybe the keyframe thing has to be off of it. Okay. Yeah, maybe the keyframe thing has to be off of it. Okay. Now let's, whoops, put this back here. Whoops. Okay, I'll learn it. We're learning together, right? Okay, there we go. Now we're going to group those together. Group. And then we're going to duplicate that. Duplicate. Move that one over about an inch. I mean a second, not an inch. And then I'm going to lasso it or whatever you call that. And then group those together. And then duplicate that. Put those two together. Group. And then one more time duplicate it. And one more time group it together. There we go. Now we group that. All right, now let's check out the animation. Here we go. See how it's blinking? Sometimes there's no lights at all on the tree. And I think some of those blue ones are just staying on. I guess we wouldn't need to do any more, but we do have some more. Let's take this. Let's take this one. Let's skip one. We'll use this one here. And make that small. Okay. I guess I'm not sure how to bring up that menu. How do you bring up the menu? There it is. I don't know what I'm doing differently. All right, duplicate that. No. There it goes. Okay. Now let's duplicate. Let's choose these two together. Okay. And we'll group them together. Maybe I'm just not holding it long enough. I don't know what happened there. Did I hit the wrong button? All right, move that one over. Okay. All right, let's group those together. Like I told you in the beginning, it's still new to me. Okay. So put those three together and group them. Now take that group and duplicate it. And that, we can move it over. And then that group and duplicate it. And move it over. And that's good enough. That should work. Now let's watch what it looks like. I guess it's working, right? Looks okay. Okay, so the tree is blinking now. See? That's good enough. All right, now what I want to do, I'm not really sure what's on this layer here. Not sure what that is. Let me turn it on and off. Oh, it's one of the dark blues. Okay. So now we have the background, the tree, and all these layers of lights. Now we want to add a new layer. Or a new track, I guess, is what they call it. So there's the new track right there. And what I want to do on that track is I want to draw snow. So how do I do that? Oh, draw. This is how you draw. Okay. All right, now I'm going to use, I guess I'll use, I think I'll use the gouache. Where is it? Do you see anything that says paint? Oh, right there, painting. Okay. This is oil paint, turpentine, gouache. Okay. I'll just use gouache, just like I was using before. Okay, now I'm going to put a dot here. Is there a dot? Did it work? Oh, very big. I don't want that big. Okay. Because these are going to be snowflakes. Making little snowflakes. I guess I can just put dots. I just put lots of dots. Now what I know you can do is you can put them above it too, even though you can't see it up here. They are there. Because you want the snow to come down, not just stopping there. So I don't know what that's going to look like. All right, now let's try the, so here's the cool one. This is the record button. So let's go back to, let's see. Go back to the beginning of it. Must be a quicker way to do this. I'll have to read or watch some tutorials. All right, that's what we want. We want that in the very beginning. Okay, now I'm going to start here and drag it down. See the snow falling? I'm making it wavy a little bit. See, I didn't do a good job of making snowflakes. I made lots of little dots or lines. Okay, then I guess I can make more on here. Well, I don't know what happened, but the recording failed. It stopped right there. And so, but there wasn't much more to it anyway. I just kept doing the same thing. So that's it. That's the little demonstration on how I would create a painting to animate to be used as a digital Christmas card for social media. All right, that's it. All right, bye.
Parents are both liars. I got gifts but 1 subscribers. Thanks for the candy basket. Oh, got another jacket. My stocking's filled with acid. Am I dreaming? What just happened?